Welcome to Byte-Sized Tech. Today, we are unpacking some of the biggest forces shaping our world right now. We're talking everything from AI completely rewriting the rules in Hollywood, to robo-taxis taking over our streets, and even a massive legal battle that could change the very way we use the internet.
So here's the plan. We'll kick things off with AI's impact on creativity. Then we'll jump into the latest hardware wars. After that, we're going to take a peek at our autonomous future, dig into Google's crazy high-stakes antitrust trial, and then, just for fun, we'll bust a few surprising myths you've probably heard. Okay, let's dive in.
All right, first up, artificial intelligence. I mean, you can't escape it. It's making waves absolutely everywhere. But the way it's shaking up creative industries, well, that's a whole other level of disruption.
Now, a lot of supporters will tell you that generative AI is this incredible democratizing force. And, the idea makes sense. You don't need years of training on super complex software anymore. If you've got a vision in your head, you can just describe it and boom, AI can help bring it to life.
But, and this is a big but, this newfound accessibility comes at a cost. It raises these huge questions about copyright, job security for actual human artists, and frankly, what creative work is even worth anymore. I mean, if a machine can spit out endless concepts for pennies, what happens to the pros who built their entire careers on that skill?
And check this out, because this comparison is fascinating. OpenAI's upcoming AI-generated movie, Critters, has a reported budget of $30 million. But then you look at the Oscar-winning animated film Flow. It was made for just $4 million using Blender, which is totally free, open-source software. It really makes you wonder if AI is always the most cost-effective tool, or maybe just the most hyped one.
And look, this tech isn't just for the big Hollywood studios. Tools like Google's Mixboard are putting this creative power right into everyone's hands. You can storyboard a little film, design a theme for a party, or even visualize a new product idea, all just by turning your thoughts into actual images you can share.
But, of course, there's a darker side to all this. The same AI that can generate beautiful art can also generate incredibly sophisticated cyber attacks. As the CTO of Wiz, Ami Lutwak, warns, attackers are now using AI to write phishing emails that are almost impossible to tell from the real thing. It's forcing the entire cybersecurity industry into a whole new kind of arms race.
Okay, let's shift gears from the kind of abstract world of AI to the physical tech that we actually hold in our hands. Because believe me, a new battle for dominance is seriously heating up.
So, if you're buying a desktop, the whole game is about balance. Yeah, a standard processor like a Core i5 is totally fine for day-to-day stuff, but if you're into serious gaming or video editing, you absolutely need a dedicated graphics card. And hey, do not sleep on memory and storage. 16 gigs of RAM and a solid-state drive, they're not luxuries anymore. They are the new baseline for a machine that doesn't make you want to pull your hair out. And in the smartphone camera world, it's really a battle of specialties. The iPhone 17 Pro Max is a beast in tricky situations like low light, and it takes some incredibly flattering selfies. But if you're someone who loves to zoom way in or get super close, the Galaxy S25 Ultra is the clear winner. Its zoom and macro capabilities just capture some absolutely stunning detail.
And under the hood, oh man, the chips that are going to power our next laptops are getting a ridiculous upgrade. The new Snapdragon X2 Elite isn't just a small step up. It's got more cores, way faster graphics, but the real story here is that NPU performance. That jump from 45 to 80 TOPS, that's the neural processing unit, it means these new PCs are going to have nearly double the on-device AI power that's going to fundamentally change how we even interact with our computers.
All right, let's go from the devices on our desks to the technology that is literally transforming the cities we live in.
They might still seem like a novelty to some of us, but robot taxis are quietly going global. And Chinese firms are really leading the charge here, aggressively targeting markets in Europe, Southeast Asia, and the Middle East, places where the regulations are a bit more favorable and people are just hungry for new tech.
And just look at this timeline. It shows you how fast this is all moving. This is not some distant sci-fi future. We're talking about WeRide deploying in Southeast Asia by the end of next year. Baidu is aiming for Europe by 2026, and at the same time, cities like Dubai are setting these mind-blowing goals, trying to make a full quarter of all trips autonomous by 2030. It's wild!
So what's the scale of this change we're talking about? Well, according to Bloomberg NEF, we could see a global fleet of 6 million autonomous taxis on the road in just the next 10 years. That's a fundamental reinvention of how we get around our cities, and it's happening in the blink of an eye.
So, from the future of our roads, let's turn to a legal battle that is going to define the future of our digital highways. So in this gigantic ad tech case against Google, the question isn't really if they broke the law anymore. A court has already ruled they have a monopoly. The entire fight right now is about the remedy. What exactly should the court do to fix this whole mess?
And the two sides could not be further apart. The Department of Justice is demanding a structural remedy, basically forcing Google to sell off its huge ad exchange, AdX. Their logic is, hey, as long as Google owns all the pieces of the puzzle, it can't help but dominate. But Google is pushing back with what's called a behavioral remedy, which is essentially a court-ordered promise to play fair while keeping its entire company intact.
And really, this entire case might just boil down to what the judge herself asked. Can you trust Google to act in good faith? The DOJ is betting the answer to that is a hard no, arguing that the financial incentive to cheat is just way too powerful. This one question really shows the judge is trying to figure out if any promise from Google could ever be enough to bring back fair competition.
Okay, and now to wrap things up, we're going to pivot away from all the big picture stuff and just have a little fun. Let's do a rapid-fire round and bust 3 common myths you have almost certainly heard before.
First up, the classic cartoon image, right? The little wedge of Swiss cheese in a mousetrap. But is there any truth to it?
Nope. It turns out Tom and Jerry completely led us astray. Mice didn't evolve eating dairy, so if you really want to catch one, they are way more attracted to high-protein foods like peanut butter.
Okay, how about the oldest pest control method known to man? Surely getting a cat will take care of a mouse problem, right?
Well, not really. I mean, a cat is a fantastic deterrent and it might catch the occasional mouse that wanders out in the open, but it's not a real solution. The actual problem is the nest, and your cat just can't get inside your walls to deal with the source of the infestation.
And one last myth, this one about what happens after you use poison. You've probably heard this one, that poisoned mice get thirsty and they go outside to die.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is just wishful thinking. The poison just makes them sick, and their instinct to go back to the safest place they know, which is their nest, and that is very likely inside your walls or up in your attic. You know, from the ethics of AI, to the hardware we use every day, to the fairness of our digital world, the common thread here is this constant tension between incredible innovation and the need for rules. And it leaves us with a really critical question for our time. Who should be the one to write the rule book for our technological future?
If you enjoyed this episode, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.